What is going on, everybody? I'm Dakota, and today I'm bringing to you my first of 8 workouts in my double 4-on, 1-off split. And as you can see by the thumbnail, today is push, which includes chest, shoulders, and triceps. And I'm doing a little bit of rotator cuff warm-up in the video just to make sure I don't snap my shit up when I get to the big exercise, which is flat dumbbell bench for 5 sets of 8. I personally like to do flat dumbbell bench rather than bar bench while I'm cutting because I feel that it allows for me to get a more full range of motion and have a little more freedom in terms of my shoulder placement rather than when I use the bar. And I also feel that I use more pec rather than shoulder when I do it. And as you can see, my shoulders are slightly tucked, not straight off to the side, which you'll see even better in the next clip. And I'm trying to get that full range of motion from bottom to top and really get a good squeeze at the top. But right there, my shoulders are back, my scapula is retracted, my feet are tucked, my core is tight, and my shoulders are not quite parallel. They're slightly tucked to make sure my shoulder stays out of it as much as possible. Which leads me into my second exercise, weighted chest dips for 5 sets of 10. I really like to do my weighted chest dips with not quite full range of motion. I don't hit lockout or even, I guess, not even close to lockout as it looks like in this video. God, I gotta do a little more range of motion from now on. But I do it with the weight on my neck because I feel that it allows me to keep a lot of tension in the chest. I don't lock out, so I don't put my shoulder or tricep into it as much as I could. And I really get that deep stretch to really activate the outer, lower aspect of the pec to really just, I feel like dips are one of the only ways to really hit that part of the chest. Arnold did them, so I'm gonna do them. When this is a variation that you can do with a friend or a partner, if someone's not very good or not experienced at dips, they can do assisted dips with their feet behind them to really learn the movement. So that brings me into my third and fourth exercise, which is Incline Machine Press, which is by 4 sets of 12, and that is supersetted with flat dumbbell flies for 4 sets of 15. And as you can see in the video, I'm getting a nice range of motion, full stretch, full contraction, and I'm really focusing on that upper aspect where I get that big squeeze in the upper inner pec, which I feel that you can't really do with a lot of other movements. And if you don't have this machine, don't worry about it. Just go to incline dumbbell bench and focus on that contraction at the top and really bring in that inner upper pec. So as I said, I superset this with flat dumbbell flies for 4 sets of 15. And I really like to go higher reps with flies because I feel that I like to do at least this variation of fly for the stretch at the bottom. And the high volume, especially at rep range, at the very bottom of the movement like that, really just tears my pecs. It makes it so it fatigues me so bad, so I usually have to drop weight in my pressing motion after this. But as you can see, I do them kind of how Arnold used to, in the sense that I like to go nice and deep. I try to imagine my elbows or the weight touching the floor, although I'm not quite as flexible as I should be, so I need to work on that. But as you can see, I'm going as deep as I can while keeping it on the pec, getting a nice big squeeze at the top, keeping my shoulders back as to keep my shoulders out of it as much as possible, and really getting that squeeze. So my fifth exercise is seated lateral raises. At this point in my workout, I like to move on from chest and go into lateral raise variations to really build up that outer portion of the deltoid. That's how you get those broad, thick shoulders, and it's something that I really have been lacking in. So as you can see, I do them seated. That makes it so I keep a little bit of the swing out. I keep my elbows higher than my hands, and I really try to pretend like I'm pouring out the glass of water, if you will, with the dumbbell, which allows me to keep my lateral aspect of my shoulder engaged as much as possible. So the next exercise is 4 single drops of machine lateral raises. If you don't have this machine, you can do them seated or with cables or just whatever concentrated variation you can think of in terms of lateral raises. And I do this in a 4 single drop sets. So I start with my starting weight, aim for around 10 to 15 reps, and then instantly cut the weight in about half and finish off with as many as I can while hitting them as clean as possible right afterwards. For me, this really just destroys that lateral part of your shoulder, and it really just fatigues it beyond use after that. So I go right into my last exercise for my push day, which is overhead rope extensions. I like to do them seated because I'm lazy and I like to sit down when I do my exercises. But I do it with the rope because I feel that it allows me to get that full range of motion, that full stretch, and that really big contraction at the top, and just have a more natural, I guess, movement, if you will. And as you can see, I'm going high reps around 15. And I always try to stay between 8 and 15 reps and just pump it up with blood. So I hope you all enjoyed, and leave any questions you have below.
You know I want it, I need it, don't doubt it, I can't live without it. This is everything I've dreamed of, it's everything I've ever wanted. But is it really truly in my plans? Or did God mix up my blueprints?